Did parties field fake candidates in the UK general election? Rumours have been rampant on social media that a candidate for the right-wing populist party Reform in the recent UK election wasn't real. Some said his photo was AI generated, but as usual there's more to this claim than meets the eye. Let's see why. Take a look at this photo of Mark Matlock, a candidate who stood to be an MP for Reform UK in the South London constituency of Clapham and Brixton Hill. You might be forgiven for thinking it's AI generated, and that's what a lot of people online thought too. Rumours quickly began circulating online that Matlock didn't exist, as well as wider claims that Reform had stood fake candidates in other seats. These were fuelled by other claims that Matlock hadn't appeared at any hustings and that his rival candidates hadn't ever met him. He also failed to turn up to the count when the election results were announced in the early hours of the 5th of July. Despite the claims, there's no real evidence that Reform fielded any fake or non-existent candidates. Various domestic news outlets such as The Guardian, the BBC and Sky News have reportedly confirmed Matlock's identity. He also appeared on GB News a few days after the election to discuss the claims. He said the reason he hadn't been at the vote count was because he was suffering from pneumonia, repeating what he said on X before the results were announced. As for his supposedly AI-generated photo, Matlock told The Guardian that the picture had been altered to change his tie and suit as he couldn't get to a photographer on time. Ultimately, Matlock came 5th in his seat with under 2,000 votes, while Bel Ribeiro Addy won for the ruling Labour Party with more than 24,000. While none of Reform's candidates appear to be fake, the BBC reports that the party struggled to find candidates and that, in some cases, they had to recruit staff members, friends and families to stand. Some of them ended up doing very little campaigning, if at all. These so-called paper candidates who appear on the ballot paper but don't really show their face are a common feature of UK elections. This is because political parties get more than £22,000 for every seat won and another £45 for every 200 votes won. In addition to this financial incentive to field candidates in every constituency, Reform says that doing so increases democracy, as it gives as many people in the country as possible a chance to vote for them. This all comes after an AI candidate did stand in the UK's recent general election. AI Steve ran for the Brighton Pavilion constituency, but only picked up 179 votes. You can read more about him over on Euronews Next. For more investigations and fact checks, head over to euronews.com.